biggest factor for me in attending the 2023 Summit was I was fortunate enough to go to the 2022 Summit with the organization that I work for, Triple Diamond Construction. Saw a lot of benefit in the ability to go and really just felt like I understood things to a different degree than maybe I would just attending my local Sandler training sessions. Being able to see different authors and keynote speakers, their perspectives on a lot of the common language that we learn in Sandler, just kind of taking to the next degree, and really an opportunity for me to be energized, or as energized as I was in 2022 when I left, looking for that opportunity in 2023 as well. I get to kind of hold myself accountable for stuff that I already knew was a good idea that maybe I dropped at the knowledge step and never took to application in the 5 steps for growth. And then honestly, some newer ideas that are different perspectives that kind of help frame things up for me in a different way than maybe I'd been exposed to them previously. So it's kind of neat. I'd say my expectations were similar to the previous year in that I knew I got to go spend a couple days in Orlando with my counterpart, Nelson, who's the back-end operations manager. And the two of us got to go and really expose ourselves to some different ideas. We got the itinerary ahead of time, so we got to kind of pick out what we wanted to do and where we thought we might see some value. And man, I was not disappointed with the amount of information that I received, feverishly taking notes over a 2-day period of all these different things that I wanted to implement whenever I got back home, and have already had the chance to do some of that and seeing some results from it. So well worth the time. Yeah, I would say having the ability to go with Mike and Crystal and David Curran to dinner with some of the other Sandler clients and their coaches. We got to go with Hamish Knox and a couple other people from all over Alberta, Canada, and gosh, I can't remember the other people who were from Austin working for Dell and this sort of thing. So really neat to get to meet those guys, kind of swap stories with our Sandler experiences and what all we've been able to kind of pull out of what we've learned in class and apply in our organizations. So Sandler Summit 2023 really challenged me with Karen Miracle's discussion surrounding a coaching playbook and why that's necessary for a successful sales culture, because it reminded me that I had discussed the importance of a playbook in 2022 and had not taken the steps to implement that. A lot of times we're great at talking to our teams about what and why and all that, but not really how. And so it was nice for her to give me permission, knowing that I'm a CS as my disc style, that it doesn't have to be perfect, just start somewhere. I didn't think I could implement a playbook without having everything clearly defined and perfect, I's dotted and T's crossed, and that's not really the case. Love to see that I don't have to have high-end camera equipment to create these, different talk track videos and things. I can just, shoot something on my cell phone and send it over to somebody that they can watch when it comes to maybe an upfront contract, modeling that behavior for them, that sort of thing, which is something that I've already started to do. So. Yeah, I would have to say I'm still carrying this book around, and it's been about a month. So Be Your Future Self Now with Ben Hardy, and I really felt like his talk and Dre Baldwin's talk regarding, I think it was how to have a pro athlete mindset or something like that, really kind of went hand in hand. And that coming from the health and fitness industry, I feel like I've always done things that my future self will thank me for, at least here recently, and figuring out why I'm doing that was really neat. I like the difference. In this book, they talk about the shift in psychology, like old psychology, which was determinism, meaning your future is dictated by your past and your present, whereas newer psychology that this is based off of is teleology, which all human behavior is goal-driven. And I think a lot of times we get really good at, especially us Sandler people, get good at identifying goals, long-term, short-term. Some of us have daily goals in the form of a cookbook, the highly successful ones, right? We get into the planning triangle of build, track, and fine-tune. But very rarely do we spend a lot of time on the action triangle, discipline, vitality, and guts, and ask ourselves, like, yes, I have clearly defined goals. I know what I need to do them. And then most people kind of spend most of their time in that vicious cycle, if you will, without ever asking themselves, like, who do I need to be to accomplish this goal? So between Ben Hardy and Dre Baldwin talked a lot about being your super you, which is kind of finding a new level of confidence or really giving yourself permission to be someone that you haven't always been. I think that was super impactful and something that a lot of people would get some value from. Highly recommend it. It's one thing to be a part of it through a watch party or something via, Zoom or what have you. Totally different experience to actually be there in person, kind of feel the energy in the room, be there to kind of talk through things with other people that are attending as well. And then just all the other kind of meet and greets and happy hours and all that stuff are a great time to, mingle with other Sandler clients and swap stories and whatnot. So overall, great experience. If you can, you should.